All right, what's up, fans? It's KP. I'm still at the Motor City Comicon with a couple of the celebs. You know them, you love them, Vernon Wells and Virginia. Hey, how are you, Virginia?
Oh, very good, thank you.
Vernon, how's that seat treating you up there?
Hey, man, I'm feeling really good.
Well, you know, you guys are looking really good, and I couldn't think of a better vehicle to put you in than the humongous machine for our interview. Virginia, one of the funniest comments that I saw was the cutest chicken blue since Smurfette. How does that compliment feel?
It's the hottest blue chick on TV since...
The hottest blue chick on TV since Smurfette. You don't get to throw Smurfette around a lot of comparisons. How do you take that compliment?
Oh, just with such joy. It's yeah, it's very cute. I like it. Of course I like it.
Of course you like. What's not to like? Everybody loves Smurfette, right? Everybody loves a chicken blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vernon, I'm very interested in the range of work that you've had, right? You know, from a weird science to the Road Warrior. Although some characters have been similar, right? That the platform, that vehicle has changed. How does one manage to get such breadth in work?
It's called payola. No, I've been very lucky. I mean, all I can say is that I've been incredibly lucky in my career that people have seen something in me that they want to use, and so I've been able to do a lot of different characters in a lot of different movies, which I think as an actor is amazing. You get to expand yourself and get out there and explore. And you know, I hate things that are the same. You know, if I've got to do a character that's the same old thing, I feel like I should just phone it in, you know, like ring them on the phone and say, hey guys, you got a big cutout of me? Push it around the set and I'll just do the dialogue from here. Because there's nothing challenging. You know, and as an actor, we look for the challenge. We look for something to be different. And a lot of the characters, yeah, they do tend to have a similarity about them. But I guess, as Virginia knows, once you've established something as iconic as Mad Max, you're kind of locked into that a lot. People look at that, they look at you and they're like, that's what we want to see. No matter what you're playing, they still want to see that. You know, in auditions, they go, you know, do that Road Warrior kind of thing, you know, and you're like, what's a Road Warrior kind of thing, you know? But it's that attitude that film had, which I think was a forebearer to so many other films. And I think we've both suffered from that kind of stereotyping that we got, that it makes it difficult when you try to move on from it. You keep being dragged back. It's like someone said to me, every time I try to get out, they've got a rope around my waist and they drag me back in, you know. And eventually you have to accept the fact that that's where people want to see you because that's what they like from you. And then it's your responsibility as an actor to make the thing different.
So, Virginia, how have you dealt with that challenge? I mean, from spies to sci-fis, right? You've been able to work that range. Any tricks to keeping those options open?
Well, yes, I suppose there is a bit of a trick, and that's not to try not to repeat a performance more than once. And so even if you're playing very similar characters, I mean, you know, you've been an actor, haven't you? Or you do some performing and acting?
I've been acting like I know what I'm doing for quite some time now.
Well, you're doing a damn good job, that's for sure. And cute.
Thank you.
Had to put that in. He's gonna be sick now. No, but yeah, to get around that, you just try very hard to bring something fresh into every character, to try and make it as different as possible, even if you're playing a very similar character. But you can't get any. I mean, for me, the first acting role I ever had was Road Warrior, playing Warrior Woman. And the last role that I had, because I retired after that, but I'm back in it now as of the last 3 weeks, but the last role to date was Zan. You can't get any more different from those two. Both had something in common, and that was a stillness and a power, but very, very chalk and cheese. In between times, I played a lot of very similar characters, but like Vern said, you just have to make each one fresh and go out of your way to, even if they want the same thing, you make sure that you inject something a little different into it each time.
when you do these very different movies, right? Let's look at Weird Science to Road Warrior. All right, and you have those fans. Those fans tend to be very different types of people, don't they?
Yeah, it amazes me. Like when you come to a convention like this, that you get people come over with their kids, you know, and they're guys in their 40s, and they go, oh man, you know, when I was a kid, you scared the living bejesus out of me. And they got their 12-year-old son, they're going, you know, I just let him see it. And the kid's like cringing behind his father when he sees you. And you think, my God, you know, it's like there's a whole new generation that's being tortured by the film that we made.
Crossover. There is a crossover. You find that very similar fans like all of the roles that we do, which is quite weird in a way.
I was wondering, you know, and we always see the crossover, but what about those people who haven't crossed over? What about those fans that really just embrace that one character, and then there's the other camp that really embrace that other character? Do you ever see a clash of those audiences?
Oh, sure, yeah. And we just think it's funny. And so we play off it. We get them to fight each other, pretend fights, you know. But it's all in good fun.
Well, is there any big lessons that you've learned from doing all these works and to come to these events? I mean, you both have so much experience, right? And your body of work is so large. I'm wondering, you know, from that 100,000-foot view, what you've learned after all these years about your part in participating and bringing these stories to life.
Yeah, don't be an actor. No, just kidding. I think the main thing that you learn is persistence and perseverance, and to have an attitude of no matter what you're doing, you do your best. No matter what the role is, if it's in a film that's got a budget of $25,000 or a film that's got a budget of $25 million, you do 110%. You go out there as an actor and you do your best regardless, and it's
the 4 P's: persistence, perseverance, passion, and patience.
And is it any different as women get larger roles and more leading roles? Virginia, do you have any words of wisdom or advice for women trying to follow in footsteps like yours?
Well, just follow your heart, really, never give up. It's funny you should say that, because even 7 years ago in America, there was no place for women, not really attractive women over a certain age, you know, over 35 or over 40. There was no place, and that's why I had to give up. It wasn't that I looked awful, it was just that there was no place for someone like me, a baby boomer. But now the glass ceiling has dropped yet again, which is great. So there's roles for everybody. So don't make the mistake of moving away. Just because some people say you're too old, or you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're too ethnic, or whatever it might be, never listen to them. Just keep on pushing ahead. That's my advice for any woman.
Good advice from both of you. Sir, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to watch your work and to get to meet you. Virginia, you're quite lovely. Thank you so much for taking time out. Fans, they keep coming here at the Detroit Comic Con. I'm KP. I am Stylin. StylinOnline.com. More to come.